Welcome to Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord, a wonderful game about becoming a classical tyrant via bullying everyone else into submission. Normally you play as the Bannerlord, a title given to the person who collects the jigsaw puzzle of Calradia, crowning you as a true heir and winning you the praise and approval of everyone in the land. It's a bunch of bull, of course, but people slurp it up like a dying man in a desert finding an oasis. Not today. Today we follow a different story. The story of a lone soldier on a warpath dedicated to the only person who offered him a place when he had no other. This is Astilenios Viccaro, an Imperial peasant by birth. Born to poor farmers, he spent his early years playing with ponies and collecting flowers while being made fun of by every man, woman, and child in the village. They called him names like Soy Boy and Groomer, and no, not that kind of grooming, Jesus. Even with the taunting of those around him, he truly believed he had no enemies, and he carried this good-natured spirit into his service with the Southern Imperial Cavalry. However, during his service, his family met a cruel end on the spears of a Kuzite raid. As letter made its way into his hands, he swore vengeance upon the curs who stole that which he loved, and fealty to the Empress Razih, who took him into her own personal retinue, mostly out of pity for just how terrible he actually is. How will our dear yet fairly incompetent Chevalier survive? Only time will tell. But for now, let's see where he is. It looks like our intrepid hero is prepping the siege along with the rest of the Empress's men. Still young and inexperienced, I wonder how he will fare on the field of battle. All in all, not bad. Having proven his prowess, Astilenios earned something very valuable: experience. See, in normal Bannerlord, experience is used to upgrade your skills, unlocking perks that offer fantastic bonuses for you and the men you command or cities you govern. However, it has a secondary use in this mod. It allows you to go from this to this. That's right, baby. Leave enough widows weeping and you too can earn a sweet new pair of boots. But in all seriousness, experience contributes to being promoted, giving you access to better equipment based on what army you are serving under, and in Astilenios' case, we are going straight for the Imperial elite cataphract. For now, however, he is stuck as a lowly equite. With that goal in mind and his next battle on the horizon, Astilenios prepared himself, ready to prove his worth to Razih and bring honor to his name. Oh, shit. Only 3 kills means almost no experience, barring Astilenios from getting his promotion. This didn't make me angry, so much as it caused me to fly into a blinding rage and scream at the monitor until I blacked out, awakening to find that, the Empress had marched deeper into enemy territory and decided to attack a party of 19 decrepit dirt farmers with 2 armies comprised of over 1,000 soldiers.
Amazing. Mission complete. That right there is why you're the best, boss.
This incredible victory was immediately followed up by her almost running headfirst into a massive Aserai army, retreating and attacking a party of 20. Really going for the hard hitters here, Empress. Following these, she retreated back towards Onira, disbanded her army, and proceeded to run around doing nothing for, I kid you not, 6 in-game days. I think the lead-lined cups are really starting to go to her head. But during this time, Astilenios was approached by a woman named Honeytongue Danira about helping with a problem. He heard easy gold and immediately went for it. However, he got his ass kicked. Turns out trying to fight 4 dudes on his own was akin to a toddler trying to fight 4 bald eagles. Yeah, not great. Once Razih came out of her lead-induced coma, she threw together an army and marched for Lavania Castle, giving Astilenios a chance to once again earn that sweet, sweet XP. And the game crashed. Resetting the time-space continuum put us back to just after our second siege. This turned out to be a blessing in disguise, as Razih decided to go north, allowing Astilenios to participate in a few arena matches. Nothing really noteworthy there, but what came after was a war march to defend Lavania Castle. And this would be where Astilenios could shine. And he sleep. However, off of the back of his 5 kills, Astilenios earned his first promotion, going from Imperial Equite to Heavy Horseman. This difference may seem small on the surface, but it absolutely showed in his next battle, going from his paltry 5 to a much better 11. Double the downs means double the XP, bringing hope that this next promotion wouldn't take an epoch to acquire. But all this leads into his first major siege, the Siege of Razih. Riz. The Siege of Riz. Towns tend to have a much larger garrison and far better defenses. In knowing this, I had really hoped that we could find a lot more enemies to fell on this one. And we did, but some hid within the keep. Astilenios volunteered to go with a squad and clear out the remaining garrison, and so it was. Wounded from his previous battle outside, he still fought with the fury of a Floridian man hopped up on 40's coke and drain cleaner, eviscerating anything that stood in his way. In doing so, he secured another 4, totaling this out to 24 people. Sadly, it was not enough to be promoted again, but it lit a fire in Astilenios and emboldened him for future battles. With Riz now firmly under Imperial boot, Astilenios decided to take their tournament from them as well. Easy money, baby. After this momentous victory, Brigea took another sip of her sweet water and proceeded to dick around in the desert before heading back into her territory, wasting an entire army's time, money, and supplies. On the upside, Astilenios was offered another job, this time stopping thieves. Yeah, he got decimated again. At least we stopped the thieves, so our broken femur wasn't for nothing. Following this, our Empress led us in circles for a week before Astilenios ticked over the 6k mark, meaning he was now an Imperial cataphract. This came with several major improvements: significantly better head, chest, arm, and leg gear, a better shield, better sword, better lance, and a major upgrade to his horse and its armor. He was now a veritable tank on horseback, and while he may not be able to hit you at range, he will charge you with the force of an F5 tornado and split you like an uncle fresh from the pen. But before our good soldier could reap the benefits of his promotion, we had a battle to win. This battle went amazingly. Astilenios was finally skilled enough with his blade and on his horse to cause major damage to enemy troops and morale, as was evident when the Aserai kept routing every 30 seconds. This was a turning point for us, Astilenios being fueled less by his own revenge now and more by his own want to serve the Empire, a want to crown his Empress the true Imperial leader becoming more and more palpable. At the end of this battle, he'd stacked 35 people, and was given the honor of taking his first 2 enemy lords. And being a kind soul, he let them free, as the Aserai did not harm his family. That anger he held for the Khuzites. When the battle ended, he finally donned his new gear, now truly showing his Imperial pride from head to toe. Along with this, he advanced many of his skills, with each level making him that much more difficult to take out. He was preparing his gear for Razih II, Electric Boogaloo, when the Aserai made peace with the Southern Empire, allowing him his first bit of rest since his Empress's last episode of dementia. During this time of peace, Astilenios fought in another tournament, more to make extra money and practice his skills rather than sit around and do nothing. He also trained with the troops. These training battles are pretty straightforward. You choose a fighting style and fight alone against increasing numbers of opponents. They aren't too interesting, so I'll mention if we do them, but won't show it because it's pretty boring. Just a decent skill grinder. After some training, it was back on the road to do nothing for a week. We just ran around. Until she found an enemy party. Finally, we get to find out how good this cataphract gear actually is. Yeah, not bad at all. The better horse makes a huge difference in mobility, and the lance being cushable means I really can be a human battering ram. Anyways, it was back to wandering around doing absolutely nothing. Playing Bannerlord this way really helped me understand why soldiers on long deployments will unironically play things like Kick the Can, because this gets boring. So unbearably boring. However, something finally popped up to break up the monotony. An ambush. See, I genuinely didn't know this could happen, so I was unbelievably excited. But Astilenios, on the other hand, was absolutely livid, and it definitely showed. All was going well. In his first pass through enemy troops, he cut down 5 men, but as he turned to make another pass, he spotted a number of cavalry surrounding the Empress. Now, in the campaign settings for Bannerlord, you can set all heroes/lords as killable, meaning if they fall in battle, they may actually die. Normally, this is turned off. I, however, have it set to realistic, not only for myself, but for everyone else. Meaning Razih could die right here and right now. And Astilenios refused to let that happen. He charged their cavalry, offering relief for the Empress to begin her assault upon these godless heathens. Both wounded, they fought side by side, Razih laying out as many as he, his heart aflutter with a mixture of excitement and pride. In this moment, he knew he chose right. He knew he followed the right ruler. Overflowing with dedication and brewing fanaticism, he began to rampage through her enemies, hunting down as many as he could reach, cursing them for laying hands upon his Empress. Astilenios had found his strength in the banner at his back and trusted his Empress to guide it. In his fervor, Astilenios decimated 52 of the enemy's force, and this, in tandem with saving her life, prompted Razih to promote him finally to Elite Cataphract, making him not only an honored and decorated soldier, but one of the best cavalrymen in Calradia. Astilenios donned his new armor, mounted his steed, and once again rejoined his brothers in arms, and all was quiet on the Western Front, until the Northern Empire declared war on the South. And this was followed quickly by the Khuzaits doing the same, meaning a two-front war. Razih, currently on one of her post-battle several-day walks, brought her men to Phycaoin before moving northward and attacking a party of 128 Northern Imperials, with 244 men. We won, by the way. The battle isn't worth talking about, however, this is where I learned that Astilenios was now considered an officer, and was given the trust to lead men. This is exactly the same as normal Bannerlord, where you can issue commands to troops within your formation or retinue, only difference being that Astilenios is not a lord, just an officer. After this discovery, our army marched towards Khuzait territory, our target being Akizar Castle, and Astilenios, now being given the chance to take vengeance for his murdered family, was frothing at the mouth with excitement. The march was long, but we arrived undeterred, just to find the support of Joron and his army arriving the next day. Now almost 800 strong, we began our siege preparations. All was going well, until Bonchug, leader of the Khuzaits, approached from our rear with an army of over 1,000 strong, and another party of 124. Their assault on our siege camp was comprised of 1,192 men, versus our 799. But they lack our spirit, our drive, our... fuck. We failed. Astilenios was set free, the Khuzait lords having no need to take another cataphract hostage. We ran to Cyrenia, our hearts filled with despair. Astilenios was now alone, no longer able to serve as Empress. Was he doomed to become another wanderer, a wayfarer, left to hold his wealth until he became a beggar? No. No. He had a plan. He just needed to wait until his Empress was left in the dungeons of a Khuzait nest. Then he could strike. And that'll about do it. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, remember to like, sub, and hit that notification bell. I live stream Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on both Twitch and YouTube, so come by and hang out. Anyway, thanks for watching. I love you, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys later. Also, if you want more from Astilenios, let me know. A little feedback goes a long way. Thanks.